Please stop kicking me. Jasmine's voice cracked as she scrambled on the floor, trying to block the relentless kicks. The restaurant's owner, a smug, fat man named Mr. Collins, laughed cruelly. Get up. You're lucky I even let you work here, girl. Jasmine's hands were scraped, her apron torn, and the trays she had dropped clattered loudly. Customers stared. Some whispered. Some pretended not to notice. The world seemed to shrink around her, filled only with pain, shame, and the cruel laughter of her tormentor. From the corner, a man watched quietly. He wasn't a regular customer. His sharp suit, expensive watch, and calm demeanor marked him instantly as someone important. Yet his eyes were fixed not on his meal, but on Jasmine. Jasmine finally crawled to her feet, tears blurring her vision. I'm sorry, sir. I didn't mean to... Silence! Collins snapped, pushing her again. You'll learn or you'll leave. The man in the corner quietly tapped his phone. A small smile played on his lips. This wasn't the first time he had seen such cruelty, but today he wasn't going to stay quiet. As Jasmine served tables, trembling, she noticed him approach. Excuse me, sir, can I help you? She asked softly, expecting another harsh word. Instead, he looked straight at Collins. Is this how you treat your staff? Collins smirked. Who are you to tell me what to do? I am someone who does not tolerate injustice, the man said calmly, and I don't intend to walk away quietly. Jasmine watched frozen, as the CEO's presence seemed to fill the room. Customers' whispers grew louder. Collins' smile faltered. The man handed Jasmine a card. Call me when you leave tonight. I'll make sure he never touches you again. Her heart raced. Who was this man? A hero? A savior? Or just another rich stranger passing by? Collins' eyes narrowed. You'll regret this, he hissed. Jasmine's hand shook. She had no idea the storm that had just begun. Mini cliffhanger. As she left the restaurant that night, Jasmine felt the card burn in her hand. Was this her chance to finally fight back, or was it the beginning of something even bigger? Part 2, The Unexpected Ally. Jasmine stared at the card in her small apartment. The name on it read, Alexander Pierce, CEO and philanthropist. Her life had been a series of endless struggles, balancing 2 jobs, taking care of her younger brother, and enduring humiliation just to keep food on the table. And now, a stranger promised to help? It sounded impossible. The next morning, she dialed the number. Alexander answered immediately, his voice calm but firm. Jasmine, I saw what happened last night. You do not deserve it. She swallowed her fear. But I can't just... You don't have to. That's why I called you, Alexander interrupted. Meet me at the office. I have something to show you. At first, Jasmine hesitated. Her heart pounded with both hope and doubt. Finally, curiosity won. The office was towering glass, bright and intimidating. Alexander greeted her with a warm smile. Sit down. You've been treated unfairly all your life. Tonight, we change that. He handed her a folder. Inside were photos of Collins mistreating other staff, videos recorded by hidden cameras, and notes from anonymous complaints. Jasmine's eyes widened. How? Where did you get this? Alexander's smile hardened. I have my ways. But what matters is that now we can act. You deserve more than apologies. You deserve justice. Her heart raced. Could a billionaire really fight her battles? Or was this just a dream she was about to wake up from? He leaned forward. I want you to be part of something bigger. Tonight, we don't just fight him, we expose him. Jasmine nodded slowly, fear mixing with a newfound courage. She had never imagined a life where she could stand up to someone like Collins. Mini cliffhanger. Just as they were about to leave, Jasmine's phone buzzed. It was a message from Collins. You think you can ruin me? Watch your back. Part 3. The plan in motion. That night, Alexander and Jasmine arrived at the restaurant. The place was buzzing, unaware that a reckoning had begun. Alexander whispered, Stay calm. Let me handle the rest. From the shadows, a few employees had already joined them, emboldened by the promise of change. Cameras hidden around the restaurant began streaming live to the internet. Customers began recording as well. Collins, noticing the unusual activity, stormed toward Alexander. "What is this? Who do you think?" Alexander raised a hand, calm as a storm. "I'm someone who believes people like you shouldn't exist anymore. Every act of cruelty you've done is about to be seen." Jasmine, trembling, watched as the footage of Collins kicking her and other staff flooded screens across the city. Screams and gasps filled the restaurant. People began to step back, some recording, some confronting him. Collins turned red with rage. "This isn't legal." Alexander smiled coldly. "Everything I have shown is legal, and justice is coming for you." Suddenly, the authorities arrived, summoned by Alexander's discreet calls. Collins had no place to hide. Jasmine felt tears stream down her face. Finally, after years of pain, someone had seen her suffering and acted. Mini cliffhanger. As Collins was taken away in handcuffs, a rival of Alexander whispered to him, "You're changing the world, Pierce, but be careful. Exposing one monster can awaken others." Jasmine sat on her small, worn-out couch, staring at the card in her trembling hands. Alexander Pierce, CEO and philanthropist. The name sounded unreal. Her life had been nothing but long nights, endless chores, and humiliation. And now, a man with wealth, power, and influence wanted to help her? Her phone vibrated on the table. Heart pounding. She picked it up. The call connected immediately. "Jasmine, this is Alexander Pierce." A calm, firm voice said, "I saw what happened last night. You do not deserve it." Jasmine swallowed hard, her voice small. "But I don't know you. I can't just—" "You don't have to do it alone," he interrupted gently. "Meet me at my office today. I need to show you something important." She hesitated, fear and hope clashing inside her. Could she trust him? Could anyone actually care enough to fight her battles? By late afternoon, curiosity and courage won. Jasmine entered the towering glass building. The lobby was enormous, the walls gleaming, the air smelling of expensive leather and success. She felt out of place, her uniform and scrapes making her feel tiny in the vast, polished space. Alexander met her with a warm, reassuring smile. "Sit," he said, gesturing to a leather chair. "You've been through too much. Today, we change the story." He handed her a folder. Jasmine opened it slowly. Inside were photographs, security footage, and complaint records. Collins abusing staff, yelling and physically assaulting them. Each image made her heart pound harder. "How? How did you get this?" she whispered, disbelief in her eyes. Alexander leaned back, calm and composed. "Let's just say I have ways to find the truth. What matters is not where it came from. It's what we do with it." Jasmine felt a mix of fear and hope. For the first time, someone saw her, really saw her, and he believed she deserved justice. Alexander continued, "We won't just stop him from hurting you. We'll expose him. And you have the courage to be part of that change." Her hands shook as she held the folder. "But I don't know if I can do this. What if he retaliates? What if I lose my job? Or worse?" "You won't be alone," Alexander said firmly. "I will be there every step. And the truth is more powerful than fear. Tonight, we act." Jasmine's pulse raced. This was bigger than her, bigger than Collins. It was about standing up to cruelty, exposing injustice, and reclaiming her dignity. She nodded, barely believing herself. "Okay, I'll do it." Alexander's smile softened. "Good. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's acting in spite of it." As they prepared to leave, Jasmine's phone buzzed again. She glanced at it, and her stomach dropped. A message from Collins. "You think you can ruin me? Watch your back. This isn't over." Jasmine swallowed hard, her hands trembling. But this time, the fear felt different. It wasn't paralyzing. It was a challenge, a storm she was now ready to face. Mini cliffhanger. Outside, the city lights glimmered, but Jasmine could feel the tension in the air. That night, she wouldn't just be a waitress hiding from abuse. She would step into a battle for justice. And she had no idea just how high the stakes would go. That evening, Jasmine felt her stomach twist with nerves. She had never imagined that she, a simple waitress, would be part of a plan to confront her tormentor in front of everyone. Yet here she was, standing beside Alexander Pierce, whose calm presence gave her a strange sense of courage. The restaurant buzzed with its usual crowd, unaware that tonight their ordinary dining experience would turn into a moment of reckoning. Jasmine adjusted her apron nervously, trying not to draw attention. She glanced at Alexander, who gave her a small, reassuring nod. "Stay calm," he whispered. "Let them see the truth." As Jasmine went to serve tables, she noticed the subtle changes around her. A few employees were gathered quietly, eyes wide with hope and fear. Hidden cameras, carefully positioned by Alexander's team, were ready. The stage was set. Suddenly, Collins appeared, his face red with anger and confusion. "What is going on here? Why is there—" He stopped mid-sentence, noticing Alexander standing calmly in the dining area. Alexander raised his hand, his voice firm and commanding. "Mr. Collins, the world is about to see exactly who you are." Collins sneered. "You have no right." Alexander held up a tablet. On it, video clips and photos of Collins kicking Jasmine, yelling at staff, and humiliating them flashed for all to see. The diners gasped. Phones were raised. People started recording. Whispers turned into murmurs, murmurs into outraged voices. Jasmine's heart pounded. She felt both fear and relief. This was the moment she had dreamed of, but never thought could happen. Collins' face turned crimson. "This isn't legal," he shouted, trying to regain control. Alexander's eyes were icy. "Every bit of this is legal. Every act of cruelty you committed has a witness, a record, and now an audience. Justice isn't about revenge. It's about truth. And the truth doesn't hide anymore." Customers began to stand, confronting Collins, asking questions, and sharing their own experiences of his abuse. The employees, emboldened by Alexander's presence, stepped forward, telling their stories for the first time. Jasmine felt tears blur her vision. She had spent years hiding her pain, swallowing her cries, and now she watched a man who had tormented her crumble under the weight of his own actions. Suddenly, the sound of sirens filled the air. The authorities, summoned discreetly by Alexander, arrived at the scene. Collins' protests were drowned out by the shouts of witnesses and the undeniable proof of his wrongdoing. Alexander placed a hand gently on Jasmine's shoulder. "You did this. You found the courage. You stood up even when it was hard. This is your victory." As Collins was led away in handcuffs, he glared back at Jasmine, hatred in his eyes. "This isn't over," he hissed. Jasmine exhaled, shaking, but she didn't feel fear anymore. She felt something stronger, freedom, justice, and the first taste of self-worth she had ever truly known. Mini cliffhanger. As Alexander and Jasmine stepped outside into the cool night air, a shadowy figure watched from across the street, speaking into a phone. "Pierce thinks he's untouchable, but exposing one man will awaken many others." Jasmine's victory felt complete, yet an uneasy tension lingered in the air. She knew this night was only the beginning of a journey far bigger than herself. The next morning, Jasmine woke to a quiet apartment, the sunlight filtering softly through the blinds. For the first time in years, she felt a strange calm. Collins was gone, justice had been served, or so she thought. Yet her phone kept buzzing. Messages from friends, co-workers, even strangers poured in. "We saw what happened last night. You are incredible." Jasmine couldn't stop trembling. For years, she had been invisible, powerless, and humiliated. Now, the world was seeing her, and it was overwhelming. Alexander's call came next. "How are you feeling?" he asked, his tone both gentle and firm. I don't know," Jasmine admitted, voice quivering. "It's like I'm finally free, but also scared. Everything is changing." "Change is hard," Alexander said, "but it is also the only way we grow. You've survived abuse, humiliation, and fear. Now it's time to rise, not just for yourself, but for everyone who couldn't fight back." Jasmine listened, absorbing every word. Her heart swelled with a mixture of fear, hope, and determination. She realized she had spent her entire life reacting to others' cruelty. Now she could act. Alexander arranged a meeting with media outlets. Jasmine was hesitant at first, but she trusted him. Sitting in front of cameras, she told her story, her voice shaking at first but growing stronger. She spoke not just of her own suffering, but of the silent struggles of countless others like her. Her words resonated. Messages flooded in from people who had been silenced for years. Some were crying. Some were angry. Many were inspired. Jasmine felt a warmth she had never known. The power of her voice, finally heard. But the world outside wasn't entirely kind. Colin's allies were furious. Rumors, threats, and attempts to discredit her began surfacing online. Her small apartment, once her safe haven, now felt fragile, vulnerable. Alexander noticed her worry. "You are not alone," he said firmly. "You have courage. You have truth. And you have me. We will face whatever comes together." Jasmine nodded, her resolve hardening. The fear that had once kept her silent was now a fuel for action. That evening, she went for a walk, trying to breathe the night air. The city lights felt different now, alive, challenging, full of possibility. She realized she no longer wanted to hide. She could step into the world and be seen, not as a victim, but as someone who mattered. Suddenly, her phone buzzed again. A cryptic message appeared. "Pierce thinks he saved the day, but exposing Collins was just the beginning. Watch closely." Jasmine froze. The thrill of victory mixed with a chilling sense of danger. Her journey was far from over. Mini cliffhanger. In the shadows of the city, someone watched Jasmine's every move. The whispers of revenge and retaliation promised that the fight for justice had only just begun, and the next challenge would test not only her courage, but the very limits of her strength.